John here, Shep, and I want to talk to you today a little bit about running cool downs and how important cool downs are, especially after doing a high impact movement like running and you're just pounding the pavement, you're pounding your knees. If you're like me, after I run, a lot of times my lower back gets bound up, my hamstrings get tight, even my ankles and calves, and I just get tight through my hips. I can always notice, I like to squat and lift weights, and so I always notice when I run and I start running more that I start to get more tight. So if I go to squat the same day or the next day, I'll always be real tight in my hip flexors, real tight around the hips. I feel like my hamstrings are tight and pulling my lower back tight. So it's very, very important that I do cool downs every single time after I run, and I like to incorporate them even after I do any kind of high impact workout. Like to do a cool down where I do a lot of moving around and dynamic stretching. So I want to take you through one of my routines that I do, and I do this every single time after I finish running, and I just do it at the track, so you don't need any equipment or anything at all. And so what I do is I do this for maybe 10 or 15 minutes. I go through maybe 3 rounds of these exercises. I just cycle through them 3 different times. So after I come back from the run, of course I'll walk a little bit, cool down by walking, and then I'll start with a walking lunge with a reach. So I'll just lunge out, reach overhead, and step. When I do that, I feel a stretch in my hip flexors here as I'm going forward into the lunge. I'll do maybe 6 alternating lunges, and then I'll walk for a little bit. After I do those lunges, the next stretch I might do a dynamic glute stretch, just like this. I'll just do it as I'm walking down the track, and I'm just stretching these muscles back out here in my glutes, my piriformis, and really getting those loosened up through that dynamic stretch. I'll do maybe, I don't know, 12 to 15 steps or something like that. A lot of times I won't really count it. I just do it for a little while, then I'll walk a little bit more. And then after that, I'll go into a dynamic quad stretch with a reach. So reaching overhead, throw my hand behind, and each time just pulling that quad back. You'll notice with each of these stretches, they're very, very dynamic. They're not static, long stretches. So they don't do a lot of muscle damage. They're not very taxing on the muscle. They just kind of loosen it up a little bit, and they help keep you moving. And it's kind of like a cool down stretch. So the next one after that, I'll do a opposite hand, opposite foot touch with almost like a single leg deadlift. Reach up, touch back, and then as I come back and I reach for the floor, I kick that back leg up as high as I can as I reach. So you'll feel a stretch in this hamstring on the floor, and I'm also getting a little glute engagement there, kicking back. And of course, a little dynamic hamstring stretch when you touch the opposite hand to the opposite foot. Love that one, that's one of my favorites. And you can do a lateral hip opener. Just go side to side in each direction, kind of opening up those hips. You can take that a step further and go all the way down. Lunge out. And then after that, another one I like to go into is the world's greatest stretch. So put one hand down, take this hand that's up. Make sure you pick the back knee up off the ground. So don't leave the back knee on the ground like this. Make sure you want to get the back knee up and do a little twist, and then twist up, and really pull that shoulder back at the top. Really feel that loosening you up. I'll do about 4 of those or so on each side. Then I'll go into a little, kind of like an inchworm walkout or a plank walkout. I'll just walk out. I won't go down into the push-up, and then just come back. On the way back up, as I push back up, I'll really focus on walking through those hamstrings, stretching out those hamstrings. I also will stretch my calves out. So I'll find a pole or find a wall, press up against it, and just alternate and just walk it out. If you don't have a wall, You can go into like an inchworm or downward dog kind of position. You can just walk those calves out. I also like to open up my shoulders just a little bit. So I'll do shoulder gaiters. Going in and out. Just like this. Kind of opening up my upper back. Sometimes running will make my upper back a little bit tight. And then I will do, a lot of times I'll do some arm swings. And just swing them across. Kind of a little cross body stretch there with it. And then lastly, I'll do a chest opener, dynamic. And I'll just put my hands behind, bring them out, just like that. And I'll just cycle through those exercises. I'll just go through each one of those stretches. Maybe I'll touch on each one 3 times. I don't spend a lot of time there, but I have noticed that when I do that cool down, at the end of run especially, I can squat the same day, and then I have no pain, no tightness or anything. And this is coming from somebody who always gets super tight from running, and running has caused me to just get my back flared up a little bit, lower back. So I would highly suggest trying some of those exercises out, incorporating them into your cool downs. Really, you can use them you can use those movements to cool down from nearly every exercise. You can even throw in some leg swings as well. Find you a pole, swing your legs forward, backwards on each leg, and then you can do side to side. I like those as well. Anything to just keep you loose, keep you moving, keep you limber. The last thing that you want to do is go for a big long run or high intensity workout and then just go sit on the couch or sit in the car and just sit still, where you're basically just going to lock up. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. So the more you move, the better you'll feel. So give that a try and let me know what you think. If you're watching this on Instagram, make sure to give me a follow. If you're watching on YouTube, please just hit that subscribe button, and I got more videos to come. If you want to check out my workout programs, visit fuelfitnessco.com. I have tons of workout programs. I have add-on programs for you CrossFitters that you can add into your daily programming. And also, if you're interested in individualized personal programming that is customized just to you to help you meet your goals, make sure to hit me up. Follow me on Instagram, fuelfitnessco, or jhere's11. Make sure to send me a DM and let me know that you're interested. Thanks for watching.